This is the Krillcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Billy.
And we're here to discuss for Friendly Friday whether Nintendo should make repros of their own games. Should Nintendo fire up old production lines to reproduce NES, Super Nintendo, N64, you name it? Should they be making new versions of old games, printing
Oh,
them to discs and carts, and re-releasing them?
oh yes, absolutely. Listen, if my GameCube collection could speak, like he would say right now, he'd be like, yeah, man, like please make more copies of like Go Hyper Grind or like any game that's $500 in the GameCube marketplace right now. Like, please.
And Billy's like, but then all of my games would go down in price, and I
Oh,
couldn't
I
resell
don't
them.
even. I would one tier. I would be like, oh, I wasted so much money. I'm buying every GameCube game I can in my like that and like I really want I don't have the patience to do like a Super Nintendo collection, but there's a lot of Super Nintendo games and like and their cases and everything that I would love to own, and I would love to now that collecting is such a big hobby to most people, I think it would be really cool to get like brand new Super Nintendo cartridges and boxes and everything inside. I think it would be really easy to do and really um, there's a big market for it in my eyes. Like nostalgia hits with everybody, and um, God, it makes me really sad that we don't have the opportunity to rebuy all of these things at normal prices, like actual prices.
So Nintendo has actually re-released some games at like the end of the lifespan of a console. They'll do another print run of games. Like for example, with the Wii, right at the end of the Wii's lifespan, they actually re-released Radiant Dawn. Like put out a special print run. That one and Xenoblade Chronicles got a second run. And the only reason I know that is because at the time that it happened, I had asked a GameStop employee how they wound up with more Xenoblade Chronicles new, or maybe it was Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. And he's like, oh yeah, Nintendo just printed some more. And I was like, really? And it turns out that the reprints didn't have manuals.
Interesting. That's odd. That's super odd.
There was like 3 releases of Radiant Dawn, one with a manual, one without a manual, and then like the third, like really rare one was like not. I don't even know how you find it, but it's like got like Saudi Arabia ratings on it.
That's so weird. That's
But it
I
was in
actually had
English.
no idea
It
about
was in
that.
English. I almost got a copy that was like, this is interesting. But it was NTSC US, so it's like, okay, bizarre.
Yeah, that is super weird, actually. Oh my god.
But the two that I know for sure that actually I know exist are the one with manual, one without a manual, and they have a different. The reason you know that they're two different print runs, 2 different years on the box.
Interesting. I know a lot about like the prints. I did not know that. That's super cool, actually. I like that.
And I think Xenoblade was the same way. I think they had one with and one without the manual. I could be wrong
That's
about that because Xenoblade was a specifically GameStop run that was ran for, but I believe that GameStop secured the rights to get that run in America
oh, what a good choice, though.
because
God.
they did they got on board with that one, and then there was like I think Pan's Labyrinth was another one that they did. There was like 3 games. As Project Rainfall. All the games of Project Rainfall were eventually came over to the US through GameStop.
That's
So you can
they.
blame GameStop for a lot of things, but Xenoblade that would never come over here without their help.
Oh no, man. Listen, I give them full credit. Like my collection would not be nearly as big without GameStop. Straight up.
No, I'm saying like a lot of like people that watch here. Like I'm imagining there's probably a lot of people that aren't fans of GameStop, but
Well,
you
listen.
wouldn't get Xenoblade without them. So there's
A
that.
whole nother episode for this. Let's go.
Hashtag save GameStop. Anyways, we did that episode already. Okay. The last thing I want to touch on was, would Nintendo make money doing this? Do you think that it would be worthwhile? Like, at what distribution would they make money? I really don't know. They'd have to scale up to the market. And I don't think the retro gaming market is big enough to support Nintendo reopening factories to produce these.
I think I kind of in my eyes I think like select remakes, if that makes sense. Like I think like really scaling down what you would re-release,
Like if
and
they had like
then
hooked up with limited run games and said, "Hey, produce this many."
yes, absolutely, because I buy from limited run games all the time, and I truthfully think that they could like because one of the things that I just recently bought was the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World big bundle, but they had like they redid a Sega Genesis case for it, and I was like, dude, I was like, I will buy this in a heartbeat. If Nintendo partnered up with them and started releasing
Oh,
like,
they're doing Bug Fables?
yeah, like they have so many cool not to, we're not being paid by them at all, but I got
No, we're
limited
not. I would have them
release.
on for an interview though.
Yeah,
Josh
please.
Fairhurst and I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, let me be there because I buy so much from them. But they yeah, no, they like I think if Nintendo did some kind of deal like that to get like the jewel case for like GameCube games and get re-releases of those, and God, I would be so excited to see like at least like I wouldn't even treat it as like a remake, man. Just like
It's not.
I
It'd
would,
just be a re-release.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like
Honestly,
I
that'd be if limited run games could secure the rights to GameCube discs, they'd make a fortune right now.
yeah.
Like
Yes,
if they
they
could get that
should.
license and then Nintendo's like, hey, reprint Path of Radiance at $90 a pop, people would
Oh,
buy that.
yeah, I would buy a second copy right now.
So I think in limited fashion, if they could license a company to produce those, and because I know limited games a lot of times they'll say, hey, we want this many Vita cards, print this file to it, and Sony's like, okay, and that's how it worked with the Vita runs, and then obviously with Blu-rays, it's just like, okay, print to the Blu-ray
Yeah.
down the assembly line.
Oh,
But I
God.
mean, GameCube discs that'd be pretty cool. But then you'd have to start printing old physical media again, and who knows what that would cost. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely an interesting thought, and maybe limited run games should reach out to Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft and see what they can do about getting us some new copies of old games.
You got someone right here that would buy so much. Please. Please do it.
Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, anybody?
Oh, please, man. Please remake it. I'll buy
As,
all of these.
as always, I'm Chris,
And I'm Billy
and we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST.